Колеги, доброго дня. Розпочинаємо наш робочий день. Я до слова запрошую.
We are starting our working day. Good morning, Volodymyr Polevij, with the latest information from the ATO. Volodymyr, the floor is yours. Good morning. Good day, dear colleagues. Situation in the ATO area is still very tense, and the adversary around the delimitation line is firing and shelling, attacking positions of the ATO forces on the Ukrainian side. According to the operative data, Russian terrorist arms accumulating forces for further offensive towards the Baltic Mariupol. The uncontrolled Ukrainian spans of border suffer transfer of weapons, armor, and lubricants and all materials from Russian foreign. We have more personnel carriers and system grad Uragan at the Baltic combatants from terrorist organizations are still firing and shelling Donetsk, Luhansk, that's also the Grad terrorists for 4 times fight Popasna and Novogrigorivka. Also from the mortars, they fight in the southeast of Debaltseva and Sanzharivka. The fighting is also observed along the delimitation line. At Ritkodop, Avdiivka, Donetsk Oblast, we had long-term fighting, and also at Minsk, Chernobyl, Krymsk, Luhansk Oblast. Also, infantry of terrorists supported by tanks attacked the checkpoint Fashivka, where the bodyguards and Ukrainian forces are positioned. The Ukrainian forces reciprocated the fire and were supported by artillery. All the attacks against anti-terrorist forces were repelled. According to the operative data, losses of terrorists last day amounted to 48 killed and 22 wounded. And also the enemy suffered loss of machinery at considerable scale. 5 Ukrainian combatants died yesterday and 26 were wounded. In connection with the active operations of the anti-terrorist operation in the territory of Donetsk and Luhansk Oblast, among terrorists we have panicking and spirits, and many of them desert from the forces of so-called Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics from Grad system, Magnutove, and control and checkpoints were attacked by terrorists. During the firing, the shells would also hit residential houses. One of them, the bodyguards had cries, and they saved aged woman who was taken to a shelter, and the ambulance was called for, and now the first aid is being given to the woman. At Dzerzhinsk, the water supply stops. 15 boiler units were stopped. 362 houses, 7 schools, 1 college, 8 kindergartens, and 6 hospitals were left without water supply. So because of the gas pipeline damage at the Korlovka Druzhba community, 409 subscribers lost gas supplies. The local council are taking care of that. They are supplying the community with water at this point. The evacuation of the locals is in progress. Yesterday, according to the accords that were reached at this Joint Center of Control and Coordination of ceasefire, they had evacuation of civilians from the Debaltseva. Over 50 buses carried more than 600 people, traveling out of the ATO area at the Debaltseva-Glebinsk and Debaltseva-Artemix main road. From 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. From 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. The process is to be continued, and over the last 10 days, Ukrainian rescues volunteers saved 4,500 people. And at Volodymyr Oblast, Joint Inspector Selidov detention center was apprehended, who was collecting intelligence, gathering intelligence for the terrorists as to operations of the ATO in Luhansk Oblast. Secret SBO caught a local who was correcting 5 terrorists against the Nizhny Luhansky district communities. He was getting information on transfers of the Ukrainian forces and transferred this and gave this was given this information to the illegal formations of Luhansk People's Republic, so-called, and would also recruit locals for subversive and terrorist actions. Two informants of the illegal forces were caught for their facilitation of shelling at the Ukrainian positions at Shastia. They participated in terrorist organization, so-called Luhansk People's Republic. The culprits were maintaining telephone communications with the commanders of intelligence of artillery units of Russian terrorist forces. They were given information on movements of Ukrainian machinery and artillery. They were leading the artillery fire against the Ukrainian forces. Because of that, residential houses and even at adjacent communities were destroyed. Shastia cogeneration power plant providing power for almost all the Luhansk Oblast was damaged, and that includes the occupied part of Luhansk Oblast. With joint efforts of SBU and local police, local criminal group was destroyed. They were supplying small weapons and explosives to the terrorists for terrorist attacks at Odessa. 8 grenade launchers and the automatic weapons, and also 3,000 shells were taken, with 2 kilos of total detonators and over 90 grams. At Odessa, Parasip Bridge, the group of SBU and Ministry of Interior seized and destroyed the explosive device. Yesterday was birthday of a Ukrainian prisoner Oleg Kuzminets, battalion commander, and at the center of Zhytomyr city light was installed. Oleg Kuzminets was one of the defenders of Donetsk airport and was taken prisoner in January 2015. Scholars continue their assistance to Ukrainian warriors. One of Odessa training production centers provided assistance to ATO warriors. On their own initiatives, schools and their teachers are preparing, are making pastry, and also they make disguised nets and they do that in the intervals of their classes and after the classes. To State Hospital in Dnipropetrovsk, the humanitarian aid was received from Ukrainian diaspora in the United States and from concerned Americans. This is disposable materials for surgeries, special medical beds for intensive care, the operating table, the wheelchairs, special support for workers and other operational equipment, and the cost of almost $0.5 million US dollars. In the nearest time, the Dnipropetrovsk region will receive 2 other containers with humanitarian aid from the United States at over $1 million. Combatants from the Special Battalion Bunits, Ukrainian veterans from Chicago provided also some humanitarian aid. The money raised by Ukrainian diaspora was used for a drone, binocular, and laser scaling device. And now the Ukrainian Special Battalion are getting ready for the rotation. People at Popasna in Luhansk region will be replaced by this rotation. Thank you very much. Any questions, dear colleagues? No questions? Thank you very much. The update is expected tomorrow at